Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'm your host, John Michael. Today we're going to talk about the most important truth that anybody's ever talked about is the New Testament. Jesus actually rose from the dead. So if you're caught dead in trespasses and sins, you'll be in hell. But if you believe in the New Testament and you're born again, you're actually going to go to heaven. So there's only two choices, heaven and hell. And you know that deep down in your heart, you know that. But maybe you have some sort of idea coming from the TV or coming from Roman Catholic priests or heliocentrism and stuff like that. Or maybe your brain is all plucked up with fluoride and you didn't drink enough distilled water to flush it out. Fluoride is a poison, so you're drinking or you're consuming or brushing your teeth with a poisonous toxin. Goes in your brain and makes you say, yes, government, yes, we love to pay taxes. You are not a tranny. But they're actually tranny overlords. The New Testament is very, very important. Jesus actually rose from the dead. So, these Catholics say Jesus went to hell for 3 days. No, there's a place where the saints were sleeping, and that's where there was no Jesus wasn't in hell, weeping, wailing, and gnashing of teeth for 3 days, like the Catholics say. This is an extremely blasphemous doctrine. Jesus was not in hell for 3 days at all. And I went to a Baptist church, and that's what they were teaching the other day. Well, not the other day, like a few months ago. And I was so disgusted that they're actually having to do this. Why are you going there? Why would you even say that? Because the Baptists are Catholics. Catholics kind of thing. Lutherans are Catholics, Protestants are Catholics, Jesuits are Catholics, Baptists are Catholics, Jehovah's Witnesses are Catholics, Mormons are actually Freemasons, which goes back to Catholicism. Islam was created by the Catholic cults. They're all part of this giant umbrella of false cults, and they always omit, they never actually talk about the gospel, the saving gospel. So if you believe in Jesus, if you don't believe in vain, Jesus died for your sins according to the scriptures, and the third day rose again from the dead. Rose again from the dead. Rose again from the dead. The third day according to the scriptures. So you really, really have to understand that. And if you call out on the name of God, if you don't call out on the name of God and you say, please save me, I'm a sinner, how will he save you? He can't hear you. You need to call out on the name of God to actually be saved. You have to be born again. If you're not born again, and if you don't even need to do any requirements, you don't need to show up to church, you don't need to go to the confessional booth, you don't need to do the rosary pagan prayer beads, which they also have the same in Islam, you don't need to be dressed up in a burqa or a hijab or whatever, you don't need to do any works. There's no works, lest any man should be all like, oh yeah, I did 40 rosaries this week. Oh, well, I did 60 rosaries this week. You're boasting. Lest any man should boast. So there's no works, lest any man should boast. I'm sure you've heard of that. Ephesians chapter 2, verses 8 and 9. If you didn't, and you're still believing in a works-based salvation, you need to show up to the people's houses and tell them about your Jehovah's Witness book or whatever. Jehovah's Witness is another offshoot of the Vatican. It's so easy to see. The New World Translation is directly translated from the Nestle's text, which is a Vatican text. Oh my goodness gracious! These people they're into heresy. They're into heresy. Maybe that's their judgment for their sinful desires, wicked desires. I'm not sure, but you must be born again. You have to be born again. The New Testament is very, very clear. The wicked people, the wicked tranny sinners, are going to hell. But you can be deceived. Like the whole world is basically deceived. Like if you watch TV and you're consuming fluoride and stuff like that, you're going to be deceived and you're going to fall into the heliocentric cult, the atheism trap, Big Bang nonsense and stuff like that. Don't believe in that stuff. There's a biblical model of the earth, and when you're in a plane, I was in Spain the other day, and I was like looking at the plane when I was landing into Malaga, Spain. That's actually where I was. Malaga, Spain is in Costa del Sol in the south. And the earth didn't look like it had a curve. So, nobody could see the curve. Nobody could feel the earth moving. And there's a magical force called gravity. It's nonsense. It comes from the Catholic priests. So, thanks a lot for tuning in. You must be born again. If you're not born again, you will be in hell. If you're saved, you will be in heaven. There's no limbo. There's no purgatory. There's one or the other. And you will take your last breath. Trust me on that one. I can promise you that's true. You will take your last breath. And then you'll die. and then your soul is connected to your body. If you were an evil freak, like Justin Trudeau is a transgender, and Donald Trump, the tranny squad, and the entire Trump family is tranny, the entire royal family is tranny, the entire Hollywood industry is a tranny, they will be in hell. And the Catholic freaks, the Catholic priests that spew out the most vilest of heresies will 100% guaranteed be in the deepest pits of hell. The popes, there is no pit deep enough for the popes. The popes are the most wicked, the most evil that history have ever seen. And there's no fruits coming out of the Roman Catholic Church. It's just show up, pay us your money, you know, the pro rata. You have to pay us your money and it goes down to hell, basically. The money pit. So you throw your money in there and it's just a money pit. You have to be saved. If you're not saved, you will be in hell forever. And there's no chance you're going to regret. You're going to regret and regret and regret forever, and you're going to be without the presence of God. God will cast you away. So the Catholics saying the Jews are cast away? No. The Catholics are cast away. The Catholic hierarchy are cast away into everlasting hell, where there's weeping, wailing, and gnashing of teeth. Very, very important. Very, very important. Don't be caught with your last breath, caught dead in your trespasses and sins. You don't want to be caught dead in your trespasses and sins. You will be in hell. Thanks a lot for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time.